Hi, and welcome to Survivor Reborn's podcast series. I'm your host, Jenni Milward, alongside AJ from the Survivor Reborn team. Today we're joined by a very special guest indeed. He's both a Tomb Raider fan and a vocal chameleon of exceptional range and skill. You may have already met him in the audiobook adaptation of my own Angel of Darkness novel, but did you know that he voiced no fewer than 14 out of the 15 male characters? He's the one and only Adamm Khuevrr. Hi, Adam.
Hello.
So to get us started off, what was your first experience of Tomb Raider? How did you get into this fandom in the first place?
This was probably the Christmas of 2000. My sister and I got a PlayStation, PS1 actually, the mini new version that came out that Christmas, and my parents were looking for a game for my sister and a game for me. And they happened to pick up the first Tomb Raider, and basically went downhill from there, got super into it and puzzles and everything, and yeah.
That rings an awful lot of bells. I think that was kind of your experience, wasn't it, AJ?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. My sister actually thought it was a racing game or something because she saw the motorbike, and it was not, obviously. And then she hated it. I loved it, and that's where we went.
So, Adam, obviously you're a very big Tomb Raider fan and so on, but how did you first get into voice acting?
Well, when I was younger, like my dad and I used to watch like Looney Tunes and stuff like that. So from a young age, I was always kind of immersed in a bunch of voice related things. And when I got older, probably around freshman year of high school, I ended up getting a microphone that was decent quality, because I think up until then I was using a Rock Band microphone, and was just looking on Google about, how to get about recording and getting into voice acting. And just found forums for voice acting, sent out auditions, and just went from there.
And what sort of other fields have you pursued this in, apart from doing Tomb Raider fandom?
There's been recently, it's kind of slowed down. It's not a big part at the moment, just because juggling lots of things at the same time with enough focus and attention is impossible. But I've gotten to do quite a few different projects. I did a Falskaar for Skyrim, the first, I think, New Lands mod. That came out. I did the music for that as well, and a few other small roles and stuff like that. But yeah.
Because you mentioned having an awful lot of things going off at the time, because of course you're not just a voice actor, you're also a very accomplished composer and musician. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, composing as well was kind of hand in hand at the time I got into voice acting. When I was in middle school, I had the option of learning an instrument for like band or orchestra. I ended up getting into that instead of choir, because at that age, guys thinking about singing, so I ended up going into band and learning the trumpet, and from there kind of hearing how different instruments kind of blended with each other and supported each other, kind of got my interest into composing. And I decided to work on that, kind of made a whole bunch of tracks just for myself, just to practice, and eventually kind of brought up the idea to a few people that, I do this on the side, I'm not a professional or anything, kind of homemade and all that, and was able to get onto Falskaar.
In the audiobook, who has been your favorite character to act so far, and why?
There's 14 to choose from. So.
Yeah.
Well, I remember having kind of the most fun with, what was his name? Luddick, right? That's the...
Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking. Yeah, the reporter. Yeah. That one, just because of the kind of character, like, because, kind of in the cutscenes through the game, they weren't able to flesh out some characters as much as I'm sure they'd want to, and kind of the pace of things. But I decided to, because I kind of had a split between trying to do impressions of people and sometimes making kind of a different voice as well for those characters. And for Luddick as well, I was trying to make him a little bit more kind of comedic, and that kind of was interesting, because playing straight characters is kind of fun, but having those zany kind of more eccentric ones are fun as well, that I kind of enjoy getting into. And like Muller.
Oh god, yeah. I think these are definitely the more memorable ones as well. I mean, not to say that you didn't do a fantastic job with the others, but as you say, sometimes it's difficult to know how to straddle the boundary between an impression and an interpretation. But I think your interpretation of the characters actually gave them far more depth and far more likability.
I'm glad, thank you.
I mean, a lot of the comments that I had on the YouTube episode for Luddick were very, very much in praise of that. I mean, we can hear a little bit of one of his absolute crucial scenes, when he unfortunately runs afoul of Eckhart and Gunderson. We can have a listen to that right now. This is, of course, a bit of an abridged version, so we can concentrate just on your voice.
Found him skulking around the loading bay. Must have got a passcode.
You can't keep me here. My paper will miss me if I don't report in.
Close the door on your way out, Gunderson.
I have records on you, Eckhart. You can't hurt me.
If only there was time for us to read them together. But it is too late now. There are things to be done.
Nobody can ever accuse you of not throwing yourself into these characters.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure my neighbors can attest to that late at night when I used to do these.
Yeah. I mean, how do you prepare and actually perform some of these roles? I mean, doing death screams in an urban environment is never a very good thing if you want to get on with your neighbors. So how did you get over some of the technical problems?
Well, I had to, because unfortunately where my bedroom is, it's right next to a road. So during the daytime, I'm never able to record. So I kind of had to transition into nightly recordings and stuff like that. Adobe Audition, on the hardware and software side of things, things were pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But just for me, like before recording, I had so many drafts that I'd go through, as in like recording. I would go through the entire episode, record from beginning to end, listen to it, not like it, delete it, do it again like many times. That was like the longest process. And just getting a take that I actually liked.
Yeah. Something that I was always incredibly grateful for was the professionalism of the products that you would send to me, the audio files that you would send to me. They were incredibly polished, beautifully presented. There was no noise. And I always thought that must have been like, oh, well, maybe you sort of did a couple of takes beforehand just to sort of get into the rhythm of it, but then just get on and do it in one go. But clearly, you put a hell of a lot more effort into it than that. And it shows. It really shows.
Thank you. You were too kind.
Apart from the audiobook, what other projects, and they don't have to be Tomb Raider related, are you currently involved in?
Well, like I mentioned before, voice acting has taken a backseat as well as composing. I'm mostly doing work with music right now. I do freelance work, like for example, and I produce for people on the side. And I have a lot of music projects that I'm a part of as well. A lot of collaborations and stuff like that. The main one at the moment is a live touring band that I'm with called Mustrd. We're working on mixing the album at the moment. It should be done by next month, early next month. We've been really focusing on that in the past few months. Actually had the chance to actually tour and go out and play live on stage and stuff like that. So it's been a big focus, but because we're not doing it in an actual studio, we're kind of doing home mixing everything as well. So it's like a big process to kind of wrangle everyone together, get everything recorded, mixed, and to a point where everyone actually is satisfied with the product. Because every band member has a different opinion of what they want the music to sound like.
Of course. You yourself also do composing, recording of your own albums and so on. Like, isn't it one called The Legends and Storytellers?
Yeah, those solo projects, basically when I'm not working on any other projects, I kind of make music on my own time. And when I have enough tracks that I like compiled into kind of, I wouldn't say a similar style, but kind of within the same time frame, I kind of just bundle them up and release them as an album. I have 2 for Legends and Storytellers. You could just search that on Spotify or wherever. I don't know how to describe it really. It's kind of like indie-tronica kind of. I don't know, kind of like soft sounding, kind of electronic. It's vocal. And then I have a instrumental project, which is more kind of experimental, from instrumental hip hop to electronic and stuff like that, where it's a lot more freedom.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll put all the links to your Spotify account and to the band Mustrd's webpage and so on in the description. So please, if you have not heard Adamm's singing voice, you're in for a treat. It's very difficult to think what you cannot do when you put a microphone in front of you. It's blimey. You've also done work for other Tomb Raider projects, such as Tic Tac's Mists of Avalon series. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, I don't remember how that came about, but I ended up doing a voice role for I don't even remember the name of a certain mod, and then people on that team asked me for other roles on other smaller projects. Like I think Cowboy was one of them, if you know who that is from the forums. A few projects that he was doing, I helped out with, and then yeah, Mists of Avalon 2 was the big one that I kind of recorded for. Not sure what state it's at, but yeah, it was a long time ago. Actually, recently I think I re-recorded it because when I originally recorded it, I had a different microphone set up so long ago, and I kind of wanted to update it to HD. So,
Well, you were talking about Tomb Raider earlier. What are some of your favorite games out of the series?
Well, unfortunately, while I was growing up, I didn't have the full experience. I never got to play Tomb Raider 3 or Last Revelation up until I had the chance when I was older to buy my own games. But out of the ones I played, funny enough, I had the most memories for some reason with Chronicles, even though most don't agree. That's like, I wouldn't say like out of gameplay and favoritism, but just because of memories made, for some reason that one sticks out the most.
But to be fair, Skeeter Connolly will
not-
appreciate that, so...
Very much so.
And then aside from obviously, the first one being introduced, and nostalgia with that. Yeah, but it's hard to choose. Yeah, I would say the most memories are with Chronicles, but the one I most enjoyed,
It's always a toughie.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never actually think definitively answered that. So yeah, not sure actually.
Because you mentioned Skyrim as well. So presumably that's a game that you've played yourself?
Yeah, when it came out a long time ago. I'm not the kind of person who's, there's people who've put a lot of time into it, but for me, once I finish everything, I can't really keep redoing things. Like once the first experience has happened, I can't kind of, keep doing it if I know what's going to happen. It's not special anymore. So I played through it when it did come out, but yeah, that was a while back.
Well, here's a question. If you had the chance to actually delve into something different, like genre-wise, is there a certain gaming series you would, be on board to try out, or...
There are actually a few that I never had a chance, like I said, as well, growing up, that I missed out on, like PlayStation exclusives and stuff like that. Like Metal Gear, for example, I've never got a chance to play through any of those. God of War, Uncharted, a lot of like big franchises that I completely missed out on. So I have a huge list, actually, and movies as well. I just can't keep up with things. I just don't have time for them, unfortunately.
Oh, we feel you there.
Yeah. We regularly ask Santa for a clone army just to keep up with all of our projects, but for some reason he never answered us.
On that same subject, if you actually had the chance to voice, a specific series, is there a series you would want to do, like a dream role?
I would say dream over everything since I was a kid. I mean, this is a huge franchise. Maybe something Star Wars related. I don't know. That was always a dream for something. Yeah. But I mean, Tomb Raider was the big one. I mean, crazy enough. I mean, when I was a kid, I was always wanted to have something related to Tomb Raider somehow, kind of even maybe related to someone who worked on it, something legit, and that's how ended up crazily sort of happening. So, I mean, mission accomplished.
Oh yeah, I think most of us when we were younger pretty much wanted that dream job at core.
Yeah.
Well, we have had extensive contact with people like Murty Schofield and Peter Connolly, and both have been incredibly praising of your vocal performance in this audiobook. Murty especially, I mean, he's extremely good friends with Eric Lauren, the original voice of Curtis Trent. And, when you listen to your performances side by side, it's truly extraordinary to hear the character in both of your performances.
It really was. When Jen actually sent me a demo clip of your voice for Curtis, I actually thought she got the original Curtis back.
Yeah, that's been a recurring theme in the comments as well. The feedback that it's received. A lot of people saying, you've just you've got him on the side and he doesn't want to be credited with this or anything, but you have actually managed to wrangle him onto this. Said, no, this guy can do that, and he can do Muller, and he can do Eckhart, and every single voice that you hear in that audiobook, apart from one, is just you, Adam. And to this day, I have no idea how you can do so many different voices, so distinctive voices. It's quite extraordinary. I mean, we can hear, a little bit more of the different range of characters that you created, right now.
Why should I care?
Because I'm being stalked. People are dying out there.
You've dealt with worse. Handle it, Werner.
Lara, please. Look, go and see this woman Carvier. Here's her address. She can help.
What? Not doing your own research these days?
Lara, please don't think badly of me. I've been under too much strain recently, and you're the only one who can help. If you would only...
Only what? Old man. I won't be used by anyone, least of all you. You should know that by now.
Lara, please. You've got to help me. For pity's sake.
I'm going. Are you Pierre?
Possibly. What can I get you?
Information.
Really? Well, everyone wants something for nothing.
It needn't be for nothing. We could trade.
Trade?
You used to work at Le Serpent Rouge. I need to find your ex-boss, Bouchard.
You don't look like police.
No, but I do deal with problems. Sort them out.
And run errands, no doubt.
If need be. And they pay well enough.
You got something to say about Arnaud?
Maybe. It might be linked to what happened to a friend of mine.
I doubt it. Is this why you came down here, huh? To waste my time?
To buy it, actually. You helped a friend of mine a while back. Werner von Croy?
Names don't mean a lot here. Even Oirons. What do they want?
Maps and information on the Louvre.
I remember. 4 weeks ago. Wanted to take a coachload of Japanese tourists to see the Mona Lisa.
You again. Why are you doing this to me?
Surely even you can see you are doing it to yourself.
I don't understand.
Dear Lara, after all you've seen and done, are you still going to let this hold you back?
There you are. I said half an hour. It's been nearly 40 minutes. I was worried you'd forgotten me.
Small chance of that. Did you see anyone just now?
Yes, Bouchard just crossed the square as I got here. He was in a real hurry.
Bouchard? Bouchard's dead. I've just seen his corpse in there.
Lady, I know what I saw. Are you positive?
Never mind. Did you get me the Strahov code?
I told you. I'm a professional. This passcode will get you into the warehouse area. It's only a low-level pass, but at least you'll be inside the complex.
Don't breathe. And definitely don't move.
You're in big trouble, whoever you are. Intruders don't last long in Strahov.
I'll bet. What exactly are you and your buddies up to in here?
You mean you don't know? You don't know about the great work?
Enlighten me. It's Dr. Muller, isn't it?
That's right. You really don't know what the Cabal is. We are a beginning of a new order of life on Earth. No, it can't be. Not the whole grid.
Agreeing that it was worth the risk, I drew back into the shadows, sucked in a deep breath, and let it happen. It takes a lot of concentration, and tends to freak people out the rare times I've been forced to do it in company. I've only seen it being done a couple of times by others trained in the art, but I can understand why people find the process unnerving at first.
Gonna kill us.
Get a grip. Just relax. I'm not gonna hurt you. Now tell me, what's gonna kill us?
The protoid got free. We could vet it, but it ate the cards when the power got shut down.
What the hell's the proto?
The Screamer, the Black Angel. Don't. It's too late for that.
What the hell was that thing?
Proto, I thought I was safe in here. Don't bother, I said. I'm dying.
How can I kill it?
Boaz was right. Only a shark can destroy it. But it's too late.
Everyone's dead and we don't have a shard.
One like this, you mean?
Too many people have died for me to trust you, including a good friend.
Von Croy. He was an unfortunate victim of history, Lara. Eckhart was stupid to have killed him. I've helped you all along, both here and in Paris.
And before my eyes, he changed again. Too quickly for my eye to follow.
Who else would have told you so much about the Cabal or the Vault of Trophies? Right when you needed to have that information?
Who helped you into the Strahov and gave you what you needed to defeat security?
Who helped the last of the Lux Veritatis find his way here in time to help you? And who protected him from the Cabal when he left the Louvre with the fourth painting?
And who has been watching over your every move, keeping Eckhart's pets out of your way so that you could succeed, diverting security, planting information? You can trust me, Lara Croft.
So everything from Curtis Trent onwards, you've nailed, and you've breathed a new kind of life into them. You've given them a new dimension, and as you've said earlier about Ludwig, given a bit more depth, a bit more interest into a character that didn't really get much justice done to them in the game. Huge kudos to you there.
Honestly, been a great experience and privilege to be able to do what I was able to do, and help give, anything towards the franchise, and help, Angel of Darkness have that proper experience that it was supposed to have originally, and hopefully the audiobook helped others experience it the way it wanted to be.
Oh, could not agree more. Thanks so much for your time today, Adam. It's been a real pleasure, and the privilege has definitely been ours. I think I speak for all Tomb Raider fans when I say that we really hope to see and hear far more from you in the future, and wish your career so much goodness. If you've enjoyed this podcast, remember to hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll always be notified of a new episode. Also, don't forget to check out Survivor Reborn's social media feeds. All the links are in the description. Happy raiding.